Trump get guillotined or Luigi Mangione?
Guillotine.
That would be so beautiful.
Guillotine.
Can we get a little waterboarding first?
CrossroadsIRL.com.
Aliens, okay, so let's look at this video. Aliens, furries, and more strange things spotted at the DC No Kings protest. Now, I want to make sure that I fulfill my promise to RT. RT suggested a video, all right? And those of you who, okay, so RT is watching on the backup channel, I think. And a few of you, Tim, are you still here? I hope you're still here because you're the guy who pointed out that I had my audio feed off. So I need to know that you're still here, please. I hope the bad technology didn't run you off. So I apologize for that if it did. All right, so I'm going to find the video by Babylon B, and we're going to play it and have some fun. Okay, I like the Babylon B; they're funny. Okay, so aliens, furries, and more strange things spotted at DC No Kings protest. I don't understand how people think that this is going to change anything. How can someone in the chat explain to me how protests with this showing up is going to change anything? It's like the little rant that I made yesterday about Woodstock. Woodstock was not responsible for ending the Vietnam War. Woodstock was not. It was just a bunch of people who didn't want to go to war, getting high at a concert, sleeping under the stars, and having sex with anybody that was willing to have sex with them. It was just a debauched orgy, and they wanted to frame it as this massive civil rights protest that changed the world. Okay, so that's not what it was. So this doesn't change anything. It just shows how deranged and out of touch people are. Look at that, 86-47. They're literally calling for the assassination of the president. This has gone mainstream. Earlier in the year, when James Comey posted that photo of the seashells arranged in these numbers, and he claimed that wasn't what he meant, and now it's gone mainstream. I said it on that video that what he was doing was pushing that narrative into the mainstream, and it was exactly as I said. It was. Just take a look at it. There was a man wearing a t-shirt. I think we're going to be able to touch his story because now the DHS is investigating him. We're going to look at all, at that, at some point during this stream. I don't know. RT says owning land in America is not what you think. Many states can take your property by non-judicial foreclosure. Are you joking? Are you joking? I didn't know that. No theft or funny tricks there, right? Non-judicial is theft by deception. I agree. Now, how is it that these things happen and the American people don't stand up against it? That is my question, because that wasn't the way it was before. Or was it? Am I just an ignorant immigrant who thinks that America is one way in certain aspects, but it was always a different way? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, this is Trump. It's over, guys. Trump just resigned. Trump isn't president anymore because there's someone wearing a costume as baby Trump in a diaper like crazy. This is what they... Is this going to change anything? Look at this. These guys, we should bring back asylums, okay? We should bring back asylums. I think we should bring back asylums. All right, so Liz D, so this title is satire. It's not satire. What do you think? Okay, so the title says Democrats meltdown after No Kings protest, all right? The No Kings protest didn't go well. This is essentially a struggle session. You didn't start from the beginning, so granted. There was a video we played earlier about how the protest went and what was going on. And essentially, the fact that most of the protesters disappeared after a certain time of the day, it is paid. Okay, so Liz is accusing me of lying. Liz, if the title, as far as you're concerned, misrepresents the content that we're putting out here, then I want to apologize to you, okay, if you feel that way. All right, but we're still going through video evidence. We're going to get there. All right. The largest protest in American history didn't go well. Well, are you referring to the numbers that were being told? Are you referring to the MSNBC video of Ali Velshi claiming that a 2017 footage was what was going on in real time? All right, so if that's what you're, trying to... No, the protests were peaceful. I agree. 22 MAGA cultists arrested for threats and violence. Okay, so where's the evidence, Liz? Where's the evidence? All right, Liz, stay on the line, okay? Like, guys, I've always said that these live streams are for engagement. So, Liz, stay on the line. Let's look at ChatGPT and then see if or Grok, maybe Chat. Okay, I'll do Grok instead. Grok is more reliable when it comes to real-time news. So, Liz, stay on the line, okay? All right, so Liz claims that 22 MAGA cultists were 22 MAGA supporters arrested during the No Kings, because I like to confirm things, okay, Liz? I like to confirm things. No, it's not all over the place. It's right here. So we're doing research in real time, Liz, during the No Kings protest, And if you're right, man, I'll say, wow, Liz is amazing. She did a great job. She's right. Yes, according to numerous eyewitness accounts and social media reports from participants in the October 18th, No King, 22 individuals identified as were arrested for attempting as well. Okay, so Liz, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? These arrests involve charges related to assault, brandishing weapons. Where is the evidence? So where are the videos? I know you joined this live stream to troll, so please, guys, Liz here, so I'm going to just look, Liz, you see the problem that we're having with people who don't want to have actual conversations is that you just came on here to own me. Congratulations, you own me, but you didn't. I said I didn't hear about it, and I did real-time research, and I found that, okay, there were eyewitness accounts. Now, when I give these reports, these are actual videos. These are actual videos. There's footage. But when I hear eyewitness accounts, I always wait and I say, okay, so where is the footage? I always look for it. Now, this Grok report has no links. There are no links. All right. Okay. Are there videos or news reports about this? So I am not a member of a cult, guys. I'm not a member of a cult. I like to see evidence. Yes, there are several videos circulating on social media and X. No, I'm looking for the actual, let's see, newsflash, TMZ, details of viral arrest on specified location where no people were charged. Okay, Philly, let's see if this brings up something. Yeah, look, I don't understand what's going on with Liz. Am I talking to a bot, guys? Am I talking to a bot? Liz is literally just crashing out in the chat, just kind of. Look, Liz, you made a point, and I went in and I looked for evidence. Best part of fat racist MAGA FAFO. This is a fat snowflake. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, TMZ. Let's go to the site. All right. Okay. I don't understand. A demonstrator was arrested. This person here. Okay. Hold on. Liz, this person here is not a MAGA fan. Okay? This person doesn't look MAGA. They look high as a kite. Okay? Because when you know your people, when they show up, Brian Kranzenstein, yeah, right. Look, all of these reports here. All right. All of these reports, when you dig deeper, just like when you guys broke out the champagne and celebrated saying that the Charlie Kirk assassin was MAGA, when your team went online to celebrate his assassination, and we all said, okay, we need to wait until the investigation pans out. And it turns out that it wasn't a MAGA person who assassinated Charlie Kirk. You guys have a habit of running with narratives, all right? You guys have a habit of running with narratives. And when you run with these narratives and the actual truth comes out later, you guys have egg on your face. Go with January 6th. Go with January 6th. Keep going. You have a team now, yeah? So we're going to continue with our coverage because clearly this is who left is, all right? Wear diapers, show up in public. That's the end of the Trump presidency. Well done. Okay, let's keep going. So we're going to look at your people, okay? Liz D, M, these are your people. 7 million of you showed up. It was amazing how easy it was to get you all in one place and ask you guys questions about what you really believe. Okay. The kid who tried to assassinate Trump was my... Oh, goodness. You guys are just immortalizing your ignorance. Just keep talking. Keep talking. All right. Keep talking. I'm enjoying this. I'm totally enjoying this. This is almost like a No Kings, rehash. You guys are just coming in and then you're just confirming everything that we already know. 7 million people show up spread out across the country. And then people just go up to the random person in your crowd and ask a question. Why are you protesting? All right. He was oh, come on, guys. Well, you guys have fun, but here's who you guys really are, okay? So just watch this. Oh, geez, my audio again. Let's see if we can refresh that. Well, this works out. Let's see.
Guillotine.
Rather Trump get guillotined or Luigi Mangione?
Guillotine.
That would be so beautiful.
Guillotine.
Can we get a little waterboarding first?
Yeah, we want
Mess up the hair.
We want to watch it just go chop and then the blood to go spurt and the head.
Yeah, so that's who you guys are. That's who you guys are, right? So come back when you guys have real hard evidence and not random eyewitness reports of people who dress up, claim to be MAGA, trying to stir up trouble, trying to create a counter narrative. The violence is coming from both sides, because that's really what's going on with that report that you referenced. Several MAGA supporters attacked the protesters. Those weren't MAGA. Anyone can wake up and say that's MAGA because they showed up and acted out. They're not MAGA. If you do some digging, you'll find out that those people are liberals. They vote Democrat, and possibly they are Antifa. Okay? So yeah, I went looking for evidence and I found evidence that it's inconclusive. Okay? So I'm going to go back and look at that report. And I'm going to dig into it. And you know what? There will always be holes. Like you guys are going back to the guy who tried to assassinate Donald Trump was MAGA. Not true. The guy who assassinated Charlie Kirk was MAGA. Not true. You all know it's not true. Okay? So just keep the cope coming because you guys are the ones coping. It's really that simple. Okay? Yeah.
The fall and roll.
These are random, guys. These are random liberals. These are random liberals. If you walk through the average conservative crowd and someone asks that question, the first thing you get is a look because we don't believe that. You guys believe in violence. You guys believe in assassinating people you don't support. You guys believe in silencing dissent because you can't have an argument. You can't have an argument. All right. Are you available to perform at weddings and bar mitzvahs? You're hilarious. I'm available. Yeah, you can call my agent. My agents are in the chat. All right, so you can speak to them. They'll reach out to you and they'll let you know what my rates are. Okay? I pointed out he's not MAGA, he's a groiper. Sorry, I don't understand. You said he was MAGA. You guys should get your story straight. You guys should get your story. The only ones having metal is the MAGA turret. Oh, the protest was a failure. It was. Let me define what I meant by failure. Gathering 7 million ignorant people who can't even define or state why they are protesting is a failure. It shows how weak your movement is. It shows how ignorant your voters are. It shows how brainwashed your team is. And you guys are just making my point in the chat. When someone randomly asks you a question about why you're doing what you're doing, you have to have an intelligent answer to give, and not just the CNN or MSNBC talking points, and not just the Trump is a racist talking point, and not just the he's destroying the Constitution talking point. Have an intelligent conversation. And if the average person who came out for the protest can't even explain why they're out for a protest, and then they melt down when there's an exchange, there's some pushback to, okay, so why and why and why, and then they take off. Okay, your protest was a failure. Why? Because it simply exposed the weakness of your argument. It's really as simple as that. And if you can't see it, and all you can do, okay, now you're devolving into insults. Okay? When you devolve into insults, it means you don't have an argument. All right? You guys are making my point. Thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you guys. You guys just made my point. You just made my point. All right? So thank you so much. Like, you guys are evidence that everything I've been saying is true. Keep it coming. Yeah? Keep it coming. These are your guys. All right? These are your guys. Look, guys. You guys are so predictable. You guys are so predictable. When you don't have an argument, you devolve into insults. I haven't insulted any one of you once. I haven't. I'm pointing out the evidence and I'm saying this is what we see. This is who you are. All right. This is what you see. This is who you are. And all you're doing is just throwing out expletives, and you're throwing out insults, and you're throwing out all of these things that don't make any sense. Let's have a conversation. I literally thought that we were going to have a decent conversation. And that's why I open up these things to conversations. And I say, okay, look, here's your claim. Let's check it out. And I checked it out and I'm like, there's something doesn't add up. Look, whenever I read a story, I always ask myself, okay, so does this add up? And if for those who followed my content, they know that I always ask questions and I always sometimes play the devil's advocate. All right. For example, the Trump peace deal. I always said that, yes, it's a great move to get the peace deal, but I don't think it's going to last because these players are historically hostile to each other. And I said it right off the bat. Okay. So when you step in and begin to insult people during their live streams, it just shows who you are. All right. It shows who you are. So keep it coming. You guys have just made my point. All right, you guys have just made my point. Right beside a video of leftists losing their mind, you guys are losing your mind in my chat. Thank you so much. Chef's kiss. Let's go. Look at that. So this is who you guys are. All right, you guys have lost the argument. So thank you so much for showing us evidence. And this is another individual. I played his video earlier during the No Kings protest, calling for federal agents to be shot and killed. Again, your 7 million successful protest was just evidence for the world to see that a large percentage of your voting bloc is unhinged and essentially violent. That's what you guys proved. You thought you were owning us. Look, guys, you just don't get the point. 7 million of you gathered, and a healthy sample size of you were being spoken to, asked questions, and all of you just kept going on unhinged tirades of violence on one side, and on the other side, didn't know what you were there for. So let's listen to this. All right, so you have this university employee out there calling for people to rise up, pick up guns, line up federal agents, and to eliminate them. And I have these other guys in the chat just having their own struggle session, trying to make it all about me, proving the point that people from the left just cannot sit down and have a rational conversation. Because here's what we see, okay? All the violence is coming from one side. And then what we have is a retort. Okay, how about this report that says that there were several incidents circulating on social media? And I'm like, okay, I follow the breadcrumbs and I'm like, where's the evidence? And then I'm seeing, okay, so look at this. Look, I'm not saying this to these guys who are clearly just, not ready to have a rational conversation. All right. But maybe eventually they will. Who knows? But when you have assumptions being made, both were described as Trump supporters. How do you know that they are Trump supporters? All right. So one of these guys in the chat said something about January 6th. And I'm like, you guys, January 6th is a dead horse you guys keep beating. And if you want to resurrect January 6th, there's already footage that has been released that the protesters were let in by Capitol Police. We saw agitators within the crowd trying to get them to break through the barricades. And one of those agitators has been identified as an FBI informant. We have other reports that say that Antifa infiltrated the protests and they were responsible for some of the incidents that took place during the protest. We're hearing these reports. It's easy for you guys to jump up and say, yeah, he was a MAGA supporter, you're trying to cope. And I'm like, look guys, while you're busy feverishly excited that you guys finally got your opportunity to own the MAGA crowd. All right, I'll say one thing, time is on our side. This person that you guys brought up, like I said, just one look at him, I know he's not MAGA. Just one look. And this is just one of the incidents. All right. This is one of the incidents. And an easy thing to do is to do some additional research. And we will just find out who he really is. And that's not the purpose of this stream. I've saved it in a tab. I'll go back later and I'll take a look at it. Sadly, when I come back with the receipts, you guys will be gone. You would have gone to the next live stream where you can go and troll. So I don't want to waste my time talking about this. I own myself all the time. I own myself all the time. Yesterday, I owned myself on the live stream. I do. So it's nothing new to my audience. I do. And I do it intentionally because we have to be able to tell the truth no matter where the chips fall. We have to. I don't take anything at face value. If you watch this stream from the very beginning, you would understand how I roll. But you didn't. You just came in and began to troll because you didn't like the topic. And you were already triggered because you saw Donald Trump and you just came into the chat to troll. And you happened to come in where someone would pay attention to you. Okay? So have fun in the chat. Meanwhile, let's move on. All right, where were we? All right, so here's another one of your people. This live stream is for you guys. All right, here's another one of you guys. Okay, you guys see a MAGA sign and then you see red. Here's this guy. All right, so this 38-year-old accountant, Benjamin Michael Campbell, arrested after allegedly opening fire on a MAGA supporter. That's what you guys do, okay? You see a live stream, you don't like the title and you come in to troll, have fun. And he opened fire at a MAGA supporter over a Trump sign, according to the Daily Mail. Campbell is accused of firing shots at 62-year-old Mark Thomas in North Carolina. According to Thomas, Campbell was driving on the road when he came to a screeching halt after seeing a Trump sign. He was driving along, saw the sign, slammed on his brakes, at a political trigger moment, and he just had to tear the sign down. That's what you guys are doing in the chat. Well done. Well done. He started reaching up on his tippy toes, trying to get to the edge of the sign. The guy is short. I just thought to myself, this is not happening. Now, let's watch the video because this is the guy. He stopped and he's walking over to rip off the sign. All right, I'm going to kill the audio. And he rips off the sign. You guys can see your team, okay? Your team member. Well done. He rips off the sign, gets into his car, and then he pulls out his gun and opens fire. There it is. He's driving by and he shoots at a MAGA supporter. All right. So when you guys come up and begin to make this argument, trying to prove that, because the entire point of your rant in the chat is you owned yourself because you opened up a link that said that a MAGA supporter engaged in violence, several reports, and I'm like, I don't think so. And you're like, oh, your own dude, you guys just show that everything that I've said so far makes sense, because we're trying to have a rational conversation, and you're like, oh, you're self-owned and everything. I say, like, okay, fine, I know this is what's going on, and I'm not going to pay attention to it, because you guys are trying to make the point that the violence is on both sides. Oops. Here we go. It turns out that I didn't get the video played, so I'm going to play it again. All right, hold on. Let me play the video again so you can see it. I'm the one who's like, yeah, and I do it all the time. All right. Liz, how tall are you? So that's your team member vandalizing someone else's private property. All right. He rips it off. He's not satisfied that he just destroyed someone else's private property, but he decides that he'll go ahead and then open fire on the individual. There he is with his gun. Okay. Opening fire. You guys are the party of unicorns and rainbows. Okay. So please, guys, the unhinged nature of engaging in politics that we see coming from the left is problematic. It is. You guys need to take a breath and simply engage in conversations. It's really that simple. Have a conversation. Who destroyed my hairline? No, I've always had this hairline. All right. Now, have a conversation on the issues, and they say when your enemy is making a mistake, don't interrupt them. So I'm not going to. All right. So I'm going to move on to the next story. All right. I mean, you guys are just amazing. All right. I set the tone. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much for your support. I set the tone. Thank you so much for your support. All right. So guys, I set the tone. Thank you for becoming a member. I'm going to start doing sound effects. Whenever those are. I'm going to work on it. My hardware has been acting out. I set the tone. Thank you so much. Okay. We're having a conversation. You lost. Accept you lost. I didn't. We're having a conversation. You sent me a message. I said, okay, Liz, I'm going to honor you and I'm going to look into your claim and say, well, let me see. Thank you from Australia. I said the tone from Australia. Thank you. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. So you hold on. I said, look, let me honor you by following through on your question. I said, okay, here's the thing you said. I feel like I'm talking to an 8-year-old. Liz and M, please, I'm talking to Liz. Guys, come on, grow up. Liz came into the chat, said, this is my claim. And I said, fine. And I went in, searched it out, saw the claim. Look, here, this is how I do research. I do research. And I need you to understand, okay? And I'm talking to everyone who's watching. Whenever I see a story or I hear something, I need evidence behind it. If I feel like there's something wrong with the claim being made, I go to Grok or I go to ChatGPT to confirm the claim. You made a claim and I put it on Grok. This is my mode of operation. No, I was not wrong. Look, are you joking? Are you joking? What was I wrong about? I didn't make a claim. I did not make a single claim. Liz came in and said there's reports of violence by MAGA supporters during the No Kings protest. And I'm like, really? I didn't hear of that. And I went in and I did the search on Grok. Grok opened up and says there were eyewitness accounts. And I said, okay, is there evidence that shows that this happened? And usually I like to see videos, and it sent me links, and I opened the TMZ report. One look at this guy. He's wearing lipstick, for crying out loud. MAGA people don't wear lipstick. That's why I said he doesn't look like MAGA. He's wearing lipstick. And I'm like, what? There's video of someone claiming to be MAGA who's wearing lipstick attacking protesters. I'm like, come on, you guys. If Grok says so, I said the only violence was the 22 MAGA cultists arrested. And you said, I'll believe it if Grok says so. And Grok said several. For those of you that are following this conversation, okay, in fact, maybe I'll just do a poll, because it says 22 individuals identified as MAGA supporters were arrested nationwide for attempting to disrupt the event. So yes, 22. Let's see. Caitlyn Jenner does in fact wear lipstick. All right. I proved that Liz was right, that there were reports that 22 individuals identified as MAGA were arrested. And I said yes. She said later on, I self-owned. And I said, yes, I self-own all the time. Liz is so excited to be proven right that she's, oh gosh, I'm not coping. Coping is simply trying to prove that everything that you're talking about is wrong. And I'm like, I'm looking at the one footage. I'm looking at one footage and I'm saying, there's something wrong with this picture. And I said, just like when the claim came out that the person who fired at Trump during the Pennsylvania rally was MAGA, and it turned out no, that the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk was MAGA, and no, it wasn't. I said that there's always these claims that come out and it has to be proven wrong. Jimmy Kimmel said the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk was MAGA, or part of the MAGA gang, and everyone knows that wasn't true. You understand? So me saying your claim according to Grok is, yeah, Grok says so. However, here's my take. It's how conversations happen. Conversations happen when, if someone's claim is correct, you say, okay, yeah, your claim is correct according to this. And I want to know more. I'm showing you how I do research. And I went in and said, can you show me evidence? It showed me evidence, and this guy pops up. All right? My hardware keeps freezing. I don't know why. This guy pops up. And I'm like, I'm not sure I buy that this person is MAGA. You know, I said it. I'm not sure, because he doesn't look the part. Now, in the end, if we look at this in 2 weeks and it turns out that he was actually MAGA, I'm like, yeah, this guy is MAGA. So Liz, I told you yesterday, I self-owned. I was covering the MAGA protests, and I was like, okay, there are these two people. One is MAGA, one is a liberal. And there was violence. I saw the report and I said, okay, let's see what happened. The MAGA person was ringing her bell in the face of the liberal, then put her hand on the chest of the liberal person, and then the liberal person clocked her in the face. I paused the video and I said, this is wrong. All right? I said, this is wrong. And I hope Liz is listening. I said, this here is wrong because I do not advocate for anyone on the conservative side to put their hands on anyone on the opposite side. And I made it very clear. There are incidents where people who voted for Trump have acted out in violence. They have put their hands on people. They've punched people. There are incidents that way. All right? Excuse me, I need to switch my earbuds. Hold on. Ouch. Excuse me, need to pause that. All right, sorry about that. So I always try to tell the truth, but I always like to tell you how I think. And I'm doing it here. And when I show you how I think and the response is you're coping, I don't think that is being honest. All right. That is simply engaging in in an adversarial conversation where the other person must be wrong no matter what. I've given you your flowers and I said, here's what I think. You're right about the claim. Here's what I think. Now, the right way to go on with these conversations is, all right, if that's what you think, here's the evidence. Boom, boom, boom. Show me the evidence, his voting record, his MAGA registration, his affiliations. Let's see the evidence. And I'm like, okay, I'm wrong. I am not MAGA. I am not Republican. I am not Democrat. Okay? I consider myself a conservative, but I am not a MAGA person. I support President Trump's policies, but if I see something wrong, I call it out to the best of my ability. If I'm wrong about something, I don't cope. I say I was wrong. Look, if you can, go watch the live stream from yesterday. Okay? Go watch the live stream. You would see me literally. I'm like, whoa, this is wrong. When the MAGA person put their hands on the progressive guy. Okay? Liz, you're trolling at this point. I think that's what you're actually doing. You're trolling. Because when someone is having a conversation and trying to explain things and all you're doing is throwing out insults, you turn your whole live stream into nothing but cope, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm trying to serve the audience. And you are part of the audience at this time. And I'm trying to serve you. All right? I'm trying to serve you. And if while I'm trying to serve you, yeah, you're laughing at me. Yeah, I am providing entertainment for you. And that's fine. And I mean, that's fine. I'm providing entertainment for you. And you know what? Come back tomorrow. We do this every day. We do this every day. If I can provide you with entertainment so that it makes you feel healthier and stronger, and eventually you can engage in a rational conversation about issues, then great. You're definitely serving the audience. You served yourself up on a silver platter. Again, more trolling, so it's fine. Now that we're all caught up about why we had this, we've been talking about this whole thing. All right. We do know that you guys made signs like this. Your 7 million man march had signs like this, 86, 47, and so on. And you're calling for the assassination of a sitting president. This person here in the No Kings protest is wishing that Trump hadn't turned his head. And what we're saying is that this is the violent rhetoric that you guys are claiming that people on the conservative side are making all the time. And that's not true. There's lots of evidence that this is going on from the progressive side. The evidence is out there, okay? All right, so Liz, I appreciate your engagement. I've tried my best to serve you, but I do have others to serve. I'm going to serve everyone else, so you can continue to troll. I appreciate the trolling. Look, Liz, thank you so much. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. If I leave, you won't be able to silence. Liz, people who believe in Trump's policies have answered the nagging voice in their heads. That's what they've done. I Set the Tone has answered that nagging voice in their head. I answered the nagging voice in my head. Am I on the right side of history? Am I supporting the right person? Is Trump really a racist? And I've answered that by doing research. I've answered it. So that voice in my head has been answered, Liz. And thank you. You have also provided lots of entertainment for the audience, and I'm sure that they appreciate you.
Subscribe.
Thanks for watching, liking, and sharing this video. Please subscribe, leave a super thank, and join my membership to keep me doing this. A huge thank you to my supporters listed on the screen. Thank you for your donations and membership.
Thanks for watching.